Okay, for the most part, I'm starting to see these brainstorm posts as a genuine cry for help. And what do I mean by that? Well, like, feed us ideas because we're all out of them kind of help.
Oh my god, I don't know what to do. Oh no. Oh no! Oh no!
That said, it is what it says on the tin, you know? It's an actual brainstorm session. Now, if you ever wanted to feel what it's like to be an unpaid intern, feel free to give some of your creative prowess over on their Discord, where they sorely are in need of it. And truthfully, many of you have been giving them good ideas from the jump, so I guess continue to do that? I don't know, it kind of feels like we've been given heaps of feedback at this point. Where are they going? Are you trashing our ideas? I'm joking, of course. I'm sure we're taken very seriously. On an unrelated note, did you know Crafton had this to say about inZOI's dwindling player base? This article from IGN reads, inZOI publisher dismisses plummeting Steam concurrents, insist sales are a better indicator of performance because it's a single-player game. As if single-player games don't rack in better concurrents than inZOI right now, whether those games are in early access or not. Many of the screenshots you're seeing are from games who had those early access periods. You can even date them from when they went on full release, but due to their devs having a strong vision and updating and patching at a steady pace, well, I mean, let the numbers speak for themselves. But you know what? Maybe it is just about the sales. Maybe it's about moving product and not actually about the people that play the game. After all, you're not in the business of making games people enjoy. You're about tricking them into buying it wholesale. I am joking, okay? I am joking. Crafton is just gonna Crafton, but you know what? Then let us see the sale numbers. On that note, let us see the return numbers too. Or better yet, have an open survey where if people could return the game, would they? You know, now being outside of the Steam return window, if you're so brave. Let's put those million copies sold in perspective, shall we? Show us the Epstein files. But I digress. I bring this up because believe it or not, alright, I am fan-sided. I want to believe in this game and their development, despite all their actions, or better put, inaction, cluing me into believing otherwise. I am literally waiting on something, anything remotely substantive, to drop so I can play pretend and gush over it like our inZOI version of Lil Simsy. Most of these jokes are just a gauge, you know, the community to see where we're at with this. Consider this video as a test for a stand-up special that I will never perform in. So if you can try to just give me your, hey, let's call it feedback, you see, full circle. Anyway, today's dev post is called It's All About the Journey, Not About the Result. Because if this was a result-based business, we'd have to seriously start grading on a curve. He says, I messed that up. Whatever, go, just keep going. A huge thank you to everyone who's contributed. Many of your suggestions are already making their way into patches, so keep an eye out for improvements in the near future. One area we've been actively focusing on came from our very first brainstorm topic, where we asked, what's the one feature inZOI needs most right now? Based on the number of likes, the most requested improvement was making life in the two cities more engaging by adding more things to do. Who would have thunk it? Literally the entire fan base, but continuing on, most of you suggested adding more places to visit with other Zois, like restaurants, gyms, and so on. While we're definitely working on that, your feedback helped us spot another issue. The travel between those locations often felt stagnant or feels stagnant and uneventful. You see, it's not patronizing if they had zero clue it was ever an issue, right?
Laugh with me!
I am just trying to put this in perspective. Okay, I'll read it back to you. Your feedback helped us spot another issue. The travel between those locations often feels stagnant and uneventful. So if our feedback is what walked him down that road of realization, excuse the pun, actually don't excuse the pun, let it be grating, I've got a point to make. If that's what it took to get the idea across, then maybe those 10 years of active development K-Jun once mentioned, maybe it means 10 years in early access. That, I hope, was an ill-intended joke, but who can say? Future be what it may. The post would go on to say, players have pointed out that NPC Zois tend to wander the streets without much purpose. Visually, cities are populated, but it still feels like a huge missed opportunity. Imagine how much more immersive your experience could be if those NPCs were engaged in everyday activities that brought the world to life. Which brings us to today's question: what everyday activity could Zois do around the city to make your travel feel more alive and immersive? So I'm just gonna, say it. I'm gonna say it in a really hushed and whispered tone in hopes that no one else could hear this. Just go ahead and copy and paste what The Sims do. 2 and 3, bugs and all. Any of that would be infinitely better than what we have now, which is literally nothing. I banter because I don't want to think too hard on this, okay? I feel like this portion of it is like their job and that they should be working to impress us with what they come up with. But yeah, but here's the thing, you know what? Folks are dialing it in their Discord and feeding them tons of interesting ideas. But at this point, it's not even like feedback. It's more like feed forward because they're the ones putting in the work.
Yup.
But don't fret, because this paragraph, it nearly brought me to tears. It would go on to read, since I live in Korea, I thought of a few examples for Dongwon. I'd love to see more pedestrians entering and exiting subway stations, so you don't feel like you're the only one using public transportation. Or how about a group of joggers moving in sync through Hwarang Park, like those you would often see along the Han River. Even something as simple as kids playing in a neighborhood playground could add vibrant energy to the scene, and maybe you could even join in. And if you're too enthusiastic, the kids might run away. These are purely conceptual ideas. Yes, they've definitely not been run by our technical director, but that's the whole point of these sessions. Dream freely, explore boldly, and your imagination might guide us toward applicable features that could truly enhance the all-important immersion. Okay, so that last part is whatever, but there you have it, folks. We won. We did it. This is a moment of celebration. This is going to be my last video on inZOI forever because protests do work. We spoke truth to power, and like a dentist pulling teeth from a velociraptor, we finally got a conceptual idea out of the dev team. Now, of course, you can argue that the idea seems obvious, so obvious that Sims iterations have included that already, and that this should have been a no-brainer, a slam dunk, an easy thing to think of, especially the subway station one. But let me have this win. Alright, as a fan, I don't get many of these, so I need this. Let me have this W. Anyways, I'm gonna go back to Medieval Dynasty for a bit and then work on other video ideas. So I want to thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate that, and I appreciate you, and I hope to see you in the next video, whatever the next video may be. So until then, I'll see you then. Bye for now. Please don't make any more dev blogs, at least for a while. I've got things to do.